The phrase marketing giant is usually used to define large companies with widespread media coverage of their products. Companies like Apple, Coca-Cola, Doritos, and Amazon are known worldwide partly due to the sheer amount of money they all spend on advertising. When I think of the phrase marketing giant, though, there's one bald-headed man that I think perfectly fits the definition.
Honey, did you have another one of those Tim Misny nightmares?
Yeah, and this time, he really made me pay.
If you live in the Northeast Ohio area, it's likely you already know who Tim Misny is. He's the guy that makes them pay. At least, that's what his billboards say. Except when they don't say anything, and they're just a close-up of the guy's face, staring down over whatever road like some sort of malevolent mob boss who knows you know exactly who he is. Tim Misny has the presence of a supervillain who took over the city and is now plastering propaganda all over the place. That is to say, it is awe-inspiring. It's not uncommon to drive for about 10 minutes and see at least 2 separate Tim Misny billboards, even in neighborhoods far away from where Misny Law is headquartered. But who is Tim Misny? Who is this mysterious man with his eyebrow raised who claims he'll make them pay? Tim Misny was born in Cleveland in 1955. When he was a child, his grandmother took him to Terminal Tower and told him about all the different lawyers that had their offices within. Through hard study, one day, Tim could be a lawyer just like them. This resonated with Tim, who had heard stories of his grandfather who lost his life in the 1920s during the construction of the tower. His family received no compensation or representation for the death of his grandfather, and these realizations would be the ones that would set Misny on his path to become who he is today.
Before they do my surgery, I have 2 words for you. Tim Misny.
Misny graduated with his Juris Doctorate in law in 1981. For over 30 years now, he's represented the Northeast Ohio area in cases relating to personal injury. He has his own weekly show on the radio, has conducted dozens of interviews, represents quite a lot of the advertising budget spent in the Northeast Ohio area, and continues to grow his brand through inventive and immediately recognizable billboards and commercials. He's been the subject of a music video, a comedy parody, and even an upcoming mockumentary that's expected to be all about his life. Of course, no video on Tim Misny would be complete without mentioning his 80-acre property, Misnyland. Misnyland is where Tim works and lives with his family, and there have been several tours of Misnyland that you can look up and read through online. Apparently, he's got a bunch of carved bears all around Misnyland. Even the entrance sign to Misnyland has a bear on it. Tim's even got his own custom walkways in Misnyland, including one Self-Made Man Boulevard. That might be one of the most relevant parts of the Tim Misny experience. Above all else, Misny sees himself as a self-made man who rose up from a poor background to become one of Northeast Ohio's most well-celebrated lawyers. From cleaning toilets for extra cash at the age of 12 to now owning an 80-acre property named after himself, it's not easy to deny that Misny has certainly accomplished what many in his profession dream of. Even then, it doesn't seem like Tim Misny is anywhere close to stopping or slowing down. The mockumentary is expected to release sometime this year and is already slated to be shown at international film festivals. It really seems like, if anything, Misny is still on the rise in terms of popularity. There's a very real chance that he could be known more widely outside of the Ohio region if everything kicks off. Maybe down the line, we might be hearing or seeing Tim Misny on our For You pages, assuring everybody that he will make them pay.
And I will make them pay.
Does no one want to hear your mixtape?
Are you looking for love in all the wrong places?
Does your boss boss you around and think he's the boss of you?
Have you been swindled by a claw machine?
Have you ever been tricked by a genie?
Call me. I'm Tim Misny, and I can help.